Recently, I stumbled across an indie fighting game called Shaolin vs. Wutang while browsing the Steam store. Normally, I just skim past a lot of the indie fighting games because they usually kind of look like a bargain bin knockoff of a Nintendo game that might have been popular back when Milli Vanilli was still a thing. This one, however, took me by surprise because you could see that both time and effort were put into the look and the feel of the game. Now, I'd be lying if I was to say that the overall idea and presentation of the game were the only things that jumped out at me. But most people from my generation probably recognize the whole Shaolin Wu-Tang reference from the 90s rap group The Wu-Tang Clan. I mean, pretty much everybody that I knew at one point in time in their youth had a copy of Wu-Tang's Enter the 36 Chamber, Green Day's Dookie, and Nevermind by Nirvana. So being somewhat familiar with the subject matter of the game, the genre, and not just really being in the mood to always just fall back and go and play Overwatch for the night, I decided to look into the title just a little bit more. Better part of the reviews on Steam are positive, which is pretty rare to come across, especially for an indie game. The game itself was already out of early access stage, so they'd been working on it for a while. The game modes themselves are pretty much what you'd expect from a fighting game. Arcade mode is you versus random CPUs in a tournament-style gauntlet. Versus mode can be you versus CPU, another player, or if you were in the mood to just watch, CPU versus CPU. The training mode is pretty much on par with most games in the style of Street Fighter. In training, you can make the CPU do nothing, specific attacks only, like, standing, blocking, dodging, or just select a difficulty for the CPU and fight and try your luck at it. The other modes are survival, team battle, and tournament. Each mode adds a new element other than just the plain old win the match and fight the next guy on the list. So just talking about the list of characters that you could choose from, you get to select from 30 different fighters right off the bat. There's no locked characters or DLC to get the whole roster. The characters in this game don't really have individual names per se. The character name is their style of fighting. For example, one character who is a ninja, the character name is Ninjutsu. Another's name is 5-Element Fist, Tiger Style, etc. So each one has a unique style of fighting, but also with each unique style of fighting, you get a unique weapon with the character. The weapons range from the more obvious of a fighting game or just a kung fu game, such as things like nunchuck, sai, katana, and bow staff. Some of the more creative weapons, however, are the likes of a bamboo mat and a wine gourd. Even though the characters don't have specific names to the person, the source influence can be seen on more than a few. The Drunken Fist Fighter is clearly modeled after Jackie Chan from the old Drunken Master movies. The old Drunkard character is modeled after the Old Man, or his sensei, from the same Jackie Chan movies. It almost goes without saying that the Jeet Kune Do fighter is paying homage to Bruce Lee in more than just his kung fu style. The wrestling fighter is a nod to Chong Li, as his character is BOLO from Bloodsport, right down to the headband. Now, I could be mistaken, but I believe the kickboxer character is kind of a Van Damme clone. And there's no doubt that the Tang Soo Do is hinting towards Chuck Norris. Many of the other characters bear great likenesses to many actors and actresses from tons of the old school Kung Fu Underground classics. The music in this game is straight from the soundtracks of the old Kung Fu flicks. I found myself fighting in stages over and over again just to be able to listen to the background music. I mean, just go ahead and take a listen to some of this stuff right here. The playstyle of this game was openly marketed as, and I quote, an indie love letter to martial arts and classic kung fu films, made for casual game fans, not intended for hardcore fighting game players. All the fighters have the same combo sets as far as the button execution goes, and it's slightly reminiscent of the old Mortal Kombat games. The weapon attacks and special attacks are unique as well. Most fighting games have a special meter or specific times to when you can unleash a game-changing super attack. While Shaolin vs Wutang has special attacks, they're more of an automatic combo system and not a giant fireball to the face or an instant decapitation to your opponent. It's refreshing to play a game with its own unique feel and just have some fun with iconic fighting styles. Being a fan of classic kung fu flicks myself, it's pretty awesome to be able to fight with some legendary characters and their respective styles. Shaolin vs Wutang is a pretty good time, and it's damn near a steal at just $14 US. If you're looking for a cool fighting game with unique and pretty realistic fighting styles, but you don't have the time or the cash for some bigger titles or to get invested in some other games, I highly suggest you check out Shaolin vs Wutang.